I gotta tell you before you hire me. I don't work cheap.
Remember Clint Eastwood? How he lives now is sad. Ever wondered how Clint Eastwood keeps going strong, even as questions about his appearance rise? From his breakout role in Rawhide to his latest project, Juror Number 2, with Leslie Bibb, Eastwood's career has been a roller coaster of success, both in front of and behind the camera. Clint Eastwood, born on May 31st, 1930, in San Francisco, California, is a legendary figure in Hollywood. With a career spanning over half a century, Eastwood has firmly established himself as both a top box office draw and an Oscar-winning director. He has managed to maintain a unique persona that resonates with audiences worldwide, all while avoiding the typical trappings of Hollywood. Growing up during the Great Depression, Eastwood's family was often on the move, with his parents taking various odd jobs along the West Coast to make ends meet. This transient lifestyle eventually led a young Eastwood to his first acting roles. Reflecting on his son's potential, Eastwood's mother once said, "It's a shame he wasn't born rich, because he could have had so much fun." While she was likely right, it's also true that Eastwood probably wouldn't be worth about $375 million today if he hadn't worked so hard for it. The Eastwood family settled in Piedmont, California, throughout most of the 1940s. There, Eastwood attended Piedmont High School, though his time there was cut short when he was expelled for tearing up a wet football field with his bike. Eastwood probably didn't mind much, as he hated school and had already been held back during middle school for bad grades. After leaving Piedmont High, he enrolled in Oakland Technical High School, where he found satisfaction in working with his hands.
Idiots. It's for you.
After school and during the summers, Eastwood took on various jobs, demonstrating a strong work ethic from a young age. He baled hay, worked for California's Forestry Service clearing brush and putting out fires, forged metal at Bethlehem Steel, sold bonds, worked on aircraft parts at Boeing, bagged groceries, patrolled the beach as a lifeguard, worked at a canning company, and even worked as a lumberjack in Oregon, where a timber accident injured one of his knees. He also caddied for the upper crust at Claremont Country Club. This diverse array of jobs not only provided Eastwood with a broad range of experiences, but also instilled in him the discipline and resilience that would later define his Hollywood career. Eastwood's journey from these humble beginnings to becoming a Hollywood icon is a testament to his hard work, determination, and undeniable talent. In 1949, just when Clint Eastwood was supposed to be wrapping up high school, his family packed up and moved to Seattle. Clint himself spent a couple of years in the Pacific Northwest, wrangling log broncs in Oregon and keeping watch as a lifeguard in Washington during the summers. Quite the change from his earlier days. Now, let's talk about Clint's dance with the draft. When the Korean War came knocking, Clint wasn't exactly eager to join the army. He tried the old, "I'm about to start college" trick with the draft board, but no luck there. So, he and a buddy landed a cushy gig lifeguarding at Fort Ord in California, dodging combat duty abroad. Plus, Clint picked up some extra cash working as a bouncer at the NCO club on base. Talk about making the best of a situation.
Well, a naked man is chasing a woman through an alley with a butcher knife and a heart on. I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross.
After his stint in the Army, Clint decided to give college another shot. He enrolled at Los Angeles City College to study business administration. But academia didn't quite stick for him, and after about a year, he dropped out to chase his Hollywood dreams full throttle. Fate smiled on Clint when he made a friend at Fort Ord who had connections in Tinseltown. Around 1953 or 1954, he got his foot in the door with Universal Studios thanks to a contract director who saw something in his rugged good looks. Back then, Clint didn't have a clue about acting, like zero clue. But he lucked out with a studio that was willing to train newcomers. Even with a foot in the door, Hollywood wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for Clint. His first big break was a 40-week contract with Universal, paying him a modest $100 a week. Adjusted for today's inflation, that's around $916 a week. Not exactly blockbuster pay, but a start nonetheless. So picture this. It's the early 1960s, and an Italian director named Sergio Leone is scraping together $15,000 to make a low-budget Western called A Fistful of Dollars. Clint Eastwood, fresh off his stint with Universal Studios and hungry for a breakthrough, takes the lead role despite the meager paycheck. It was a big leap from his days on Rawhide, but Clint saw potential in his gritty Western, and boy, did it pay off. A Fistful of Westerns kicked off what would become known as the spaghetti Western genre, with Clint starring in 2 sequels, for a few more dollars, and the iconic The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Every gun makes its own tune. And it's perfect timing, large one. It'll be a lot easier with that.
You know, the one with the epic showdowns and that unforgettable Ennio Morricone score? Yeah, that's the one. Still hailed as one of the greatest Westerns ever made. But rewind a bit. Back in 1959, Universal Studios gave Clint the boot after a string of bit parts and uncredited roles. He even got third billing in a film he later called probably the lousiest Western ever made. Ouch! Burt Reynolds, the mustachioed legend himself, once spilled the beans that Clint wasn't canned because of his acting chops, or lack thereof, but because his Adam's apple stuck out too far. He talked too slow, and he refused to fix a chipped tooth. Talk about quirky reasons to get the axe. Undeterred, Clint hustled through various TV gigs until he struck gold with Rawhide in 1959. For 6 years, he played Rowdy Yates, a role that not only made him a household name, but also padded his bank account nicely. By the end of the show's run, Clint was raking in $100,000 per season, a hefty sum back in those days. Fast forward to the late 60s, Hollywood was buzzing with offers, and the going rate for a leading man like Clint hovered around $25,000 per film. But the first juicy role dangled in front of him didn't quite match that figure, proving that even after hitting TV stardom, Clint had to hustle for every dollar in every role that came his way.
Condemned is guilty of using marked cards and loaded dice. Therefore, according to the powers vested in us, we sentence the accused here before us, Tuco Benedicto Pacifico Juan Maria Ramirez,
Known as the Rat.
The mid-1960s, Clint Eastwood had become a force to be reckoned with in cinema. His portrayal of the man with no name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, beginning with A Fistful of Dollars in 1964, followed by For a Few More Dollars in 1965, and culminating in the epic The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 1966, catapulted him to international stardom. With his squinted eyes, rugged demeanor, and iconic poncho, Eastwood redefined the image of the cowboy, portraying characters who were stoic, enigmatic, and morally ambiguous, a stark departure from the clean-cut heroes of Hollywood's past. But Clint wasn't just a gunslinger on screen. In 1968, he founded Malpaso Productions, originally established to give him more control over his roles in films. The company's debut production, Hang 'em High, made for around $1.5 million, proved to be a box office hit, grossing $7 million, a significant achievement that solidified Eastwood's status as a leading man. Malpaso Productions went on to produce nearly every film starring Clint Eastwood since its inception, including the iconic Dirty Harry series, which further cemented his place in cinematic history. Despite his initial tough negotiations, like demanding $250,000 and a Ferrari for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Eastwood's business acumen and artistic vision were clear early on, shaping a career that spanned decades. While Eastwood's acting career continued to flourish, his directorial prowess began to shine through. Despite lacking formal education in filmmaking, Clint proved to be a natural behind the camera. His directorial ventures garnered critical acclaim and numerous awards, including Oscars for Best Director and Best Picture for Unforgiven in 1992 and $1 Million Baby in 2004.
Known for many years, but we'd never worked together. And he was in a mood at that time. He says, I don't want to do any more violent pictures. I'm tired of it. I've been involved with a lot of them. He says, I'm really tired of it. And I said, I know exactly where you're coming from, but read it again, because I think we can make a great statement against violence and killing if we do this right. Of course, it's all in the execution. You got to execute it right, or else it's nothing means anything then. But so he did. He reread it and he came back and said, yeah, okay, I'll do this.
Over the years, Eastwood has helmed a diverse range of films that explore complex themes and human stories. From the emotional depth of Mystic River in 2003 to the wartime drama of Letters from Iwo Jima 2006, each film bears his distinctive touch, a blend of gritty realism, poignant storytelling, and a keen eye for character. Even at 88 years old, Clint Eastwood shows no signs of slowing down. His latest film, The Mule 2018, based on a true story about an elderly drug courier, not only opened to over $100 million at the box office, but also garnered praise for Eastwood's nuanced performance and deft direction. Clint Eastwood's impact on Hollywood spans decades, showcasing his versatility as an actor, director, producer, and beyond. Since 1971, Eastwood has directed nearly 40 films, with some of his biggest hits including American Sniper 2014, which grossed over $350 million worldwide, followed by Gran Torino 2008 and Sully 2016, each bringing in substantial box office returns. But perhaps Eastwood's most enduring legacy lies in his portrayal of Dirty Harry Callahan, the tough and uncompromising police inspector who became a cultural icon. The Dirty Harry series, beginning with the first film in 1971, captivated audiences with Eastwood's no-nonsense attitude and memorable one-liners like, "Go ahead, make my day," solidifying his place in cinematic history. Beyond Dirty Harry, Eastwood's filmography is rich with diverse roles that highlight his range as an actor. In Unforgiven in 1992, he portrayed a retired gunslinger grappling with his violent past, earning him critical acclaim and an Academy Award for Best Director.
How do you like your steak, Sally?
Rare.
Good. Well, I'll wipe its ass, herd it through, and you can tear off a slab. How's that?
Well, if I was half as ugly as you, Sergeant Major, I'd be a poster boy for a prophylactic.
Gran Torino in 2008 saw Eastwood as a disillusioned Korean War veteran who forms an unlikely bond with his Hmong neighbors, showcasing his ability to delve into complex characters and themes. Eastwood's contributions extend beyond acting and directing. He has excelled as a producer, writer, and composer, showcasing his talents across multiple facets of filmmaking. His films often explore profound themes and historical events, from the biopic Bird in 1988, which chronicles the life of jazz legend Charlie Parker, to Letters from Iwo Jima 2006, a war drama that offers a poignant perspective on the Battle of Iwo Jima from the Japanese side. In addition to his professional achievements, Eastwood's personal life has also garnered attention. He's had multiple relationships and is the father of 8 children by 6 different women, reflecting a complex personal history that has occasionally intersected with his public persona. Clint Eastwood's personal life has been as colorful and as eventful as his illustrious career in Hollywood. He first married Maggie Johnson, a Los Angeles model, in 1953, and they had 2 children together, Kyle and Allison. However, while still married to Johnson, Eastwood had a daughter named Kimber with Roxanne Tunis, an actress and stuntwoman. Despite their initial union, Eastwood and Johnson eventually divorced in 1984. In 1975, Eastwood entered a high-profile 13-year relationship with actress Sandra Locke. During this time, he also had 2 children, Scott and Catherine, with Jocelyn Reeves, a former flight attendant. Locke and Eastwood collaborated on 6 films together, But the relationship ended bitterly in 1989 when Locke filed a $70 million preliminary lawsuit against him. They settled privately, with Locke receiving financial compensation and a directing contract at Warner Brothers.
Goodbye, you flat-chested, buck-toothed women.
And I cry when you're blue.
But suddenly my words reach someone else's ear.
Following his split from Locke, Eastwood began a relationship with actress Frances Fisher in the early 1990s after they worked together on Pink Cadillac and Unforgiven, for which Fisher received an Oscar nomination. Their relationship resulted in the birth of a daughter, Francesca, in 1993. Eastwood's second marriage was to Dina Ruiz, a California TV news anchor whom he wed in 1996. Despite their significant age difference, they had a daughter named Morgan the same year. Ruiz also appeared in two of Eastwood's films, True Crime and Bloodwork. However, their marriage ended in 2013, following a separation in 2012, shortly after Ruiz starred in the reality show Mrs. Eastwood and Company, which briefly featured Eastwood in a few episodes. Since his divorce from Ruiz, Eastwood has been romantically linked with Erica Tomlinson Fisher, a photographer, no relation to Frances Fisher, who is 41 years his junior. Later, he publicly dated Christina Sandera, a restaurant hostess who is 33 years younger than him. Their relationship became evident when they attended the 87th Academy Awards together in February 2015. Clint Eastwood's family tree is as sprawling and enigmatic as the characters he's portrayed on screen. While he's been open about some of his children, Eastwood remains tight-lipped about the exact number of offspring he has fathered. Publicly acknowledged are Lori Murray, whose mother remains unidentified, and Kimber Eastwood, born to a stunt woman, Roxanne Tunis, in 1964. From his first marriage to Margaret Neville Johnson, Eastwood has two children, Kyle, born in 1968, and Allison, born in 1972. His relationship with stewardess Jocelyn Reeves produced two more children, Scott, born in 1986, and Catherine, born in 1988. Actress Frances Fisher is the mother of Francesca, born in 1993, and his second wife, Dina Eastwood, gave birth to Morgan in 1996. Despite these known children, rumors persist about additional offspring. Sources, including a now defunct website launched by his cousin Steve in 2006, suggest another child named Leslie, born in 1959 to Rosina Mary Glenn.
Right.
You should be.
Have you been following that man?
Yeah, I've been following him on my own time. And anybody can tell I didn't do that to him.
How?
Because he looks too damn good, that's how.
However, Eastwood has never publicly confirmed nor denied these claims, maintaining a veil of privacy around his personal life. In recent years, speculation swirled around independent filmmaker and actor Jake C. Young, who performed under the stage name Jake Eastwood. His resemblance to Clint Eastwood fueled rumors about undisclosed familial ties, though Young has not addressed these allegations publicly. Clint Eastwood's career is a roller coaster of genres and successes, reflecting a man who refuses to be pigeonholed. From violent dramas to heartwarming tales, from thrillers that grip you from the start to films that miss the mark entirely, Eastwood has done it all. His repertoire includes gritty classics like Pale Rider, Gran Torino, Mystic River, Unforgiven, and The Outlaw Josie Wales, each delivering intense storytelling and unforgettable characters. Yet, he's also ventured into less conventional territory with films like The Beguiled, High Plains Drifter, and Changeling, offering eerie and unsettling narratives. Eastwood isn't afraid of controversy, tackling politically incorrect themes in films such as Dirty Harry, Tightrope, and Gran Torino. On the flip side, he's crafted charming tales like The Bridges of Madison County, A Perfect World, Invictus, and Hereafter, each demonstrating his versatility as a filmmaker. Not every venture has been a success. His comedic outings like Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can, featuring an orangutan as a co-star, might not have been critical darlings, and films like Jersey Boys and Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil struggled to find their audience. However, Eastwood's resilience shines through. After setbacks, he bounces back with projects like Space Cowboys, following True Crime, and Unforgiven, which garnered him an Oscar, following the tepid reception of White Hunter, Black Heart. Clint Eastwood's directorial prowess has only sharpened with age, defying the norm that filmmakers tend to decline in their twilight years. Instead, Eastwood has delivered some of his most compelling work in recent decades. Gran Torino 2008 stands out as a poignant and timely exploration of themes like redemption and sacrifice. It resonated deeply with audiences, showcasing Eastwood's ability to connect with modern societal issues. Similarly, Sully 2016 was praised for its economical yet powerful storytelling, capturing the heroic landing of U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River.
And I've drunk more beer and pissed more blood and banged more quiff, busted more than all you numbnuts put together.
In Mystic River 2003, Eastwood delved into dark and gripping territory, exploring themes of trauma and vengeance with masterful precision. American Sniper 2014 offered a stark portrayal of the psychological toll of war, challenging viewers with its harsh and disturbing depiction of a sniper's life. Invictus 2009 was another standout, inspired by Nelson Mandela's efforts to unite post-apartheid South Africa through rugby. It showcased Eastwood's knack for uplifting narratives that resonate with themes of leadership and reconciliation. Even unexpected films like Hereafter 2010, exploring themes of life after death through the lens of psychics, demonstrated Eastwood's willingness to venture into uncharted storytelling territories. Throughout his career, Eastwood has explored dominant themes that reflect his worldview. Bureaucracy, lawyers, and journalists often receive scathing portrayals in his films, portraying them as flawed or corrupt. His protagonists often navigate a world where the law is insufficient to combat evil, and themes of aging and vulnerability are recurring motives. Eastwood's treatment of women in his films has also sparked discussion, often portraying them as needing protection or facing physical violence. This complex portrayal has drawn criticism and praise alike, adding layers to his character-driven narratives. Despite occasional forays into vulnerability, Eastwood's iconic tough guy persona remains central to his appeal. Whether scowling through a spaghetti western or enduring physical punishment on screen, Eastwood's stoic presence has become synonymous with resilience and determination. Clint Eastwood's approach to filmmaking has always been pragmatic and efficient, marked by his ability to deliver films on schedule and within budget. He's known for minimizing expenses, such as by keeping lighting costs low and casting lesser-known actors alongside established names. Throughout his career, Eastwood has been generous in providing opportunities to hardworking professionals, often casting them in supporting roles that complement his lead performances.
Get off my lawn.
Listen, old man, you don't want to fuck with me.
Did you hear me? I said get off my lawn now.
Following the footsteps of his mentor Don Siegel, Eastwood understands that a strong central performance can anchor a film, allowing supporting characters to shine in their roles. This approach has allowed him to work with a wide range of actors, from seasoned veterans like Dan Hedaya and John Russell, to emerging talents who benefit from exposure in his productions. In recent years, Eastwood has shifted away from starring roles, opting instead to direct and produce, while casting prominent stars like Meryl Streep and Matt Damon. This change reflects his evolving role in the industry, where he now relies on outside talent to carry the narrative, while he focuses on the directorial aspects. Eastwood's films often revisit archetypal themes that resonate across generations. He pays homage to classic stories and genres, infusing his interpretations with a contemporary twist. For instance, Pale Rider echoes the timeless narrative of a mysterious gunslinger defending the innocent, echoing themes first explored in Shane, a seminal Western film. The Outlaw Josie Wales and Unforgiven similarly draw from cinematic history, reimagining traditional Western motifs with Eastwood's distinct style. These films reflect his admiration for the unconventional Italian westerns that initially propelled him to stardom, showcasing the evolution of his storytelling prowess over the decades. Even in films like Trouble with the Curve and J. Edgar, Eastwood continues to explore enduring themes of aging, power, and morality. Drawing inspiration from classics like Citizen Kane, he explores the complexities of human nature and societal dynamics, resonating with audiences who appreciate timeless narratives of good versus evil. In the early 1980s, Clint Eastwood found himself at a crossroads in his career, teetering towards what some might call a creative abyss. His filmography during this period was marked by lighter, more commercially successful fare like Every Which Way But Loose and its sequel Any Which Way You Can, which featured Eastwood alongside an orangutan. While these films were box office hits and appealed to a broader audience, they represented a departure from the darker, more introspective work he would become known for.
When a man with a .45 meets a man with a rifle, you said the man with a pistol's a dead man. Let's see if that's true.
It was the financial success of these yokel-pleasing comedies that afforded Eastwood the freedom to explore more challenging and artistic projects. Films like Bird, 1988, a biopic about jazz musician Charlie Parker, and White Hunter, Black Heart, 1990, a drama inspired by the making of The African Queen, showcased Eastwood's desire to delve into deeper themes and more complex characters. Despite critical acclaim, these films didn't resonate as widely with mainstream audiences who had grown accustomed to his tough guy persona. However, Eastwood's career took a significant turn with the release of Unforgiven in 1992. This dark and gritty western, which Eastwood directed and starred in, marked a resurgence in his career. It earned him his first Academy Award nominations for Best Actor and Best Director, ultimately winning him the Oscar for Best Director. Following this success, Eastwood continued to challenge himself with diverse roles and genres. In the Line of Fire in 1993 saw him portraying a Secret Service agent opposite John Malkovich's menacing villain, showcasing his ability to excel in suspenseful thrillers. He then shifted gears with A Perfect World in 1993, where he took a supporting role alongside Kevin Costner in a poignant exploration of redemption and fatherhood. The Bridges of Madison County, 1995, surprised audiences with Eastwood's sensitive portrayal of a romantic lead opposite Meryl Streep, despite his versatility. Subsequent films like Absolute Power, 1997, Space Cowboys in 2000, and True Crime, 1999, received mixed reviews, with some achieving moderate success while others struggled at the box office. Even as his directorial efforts like Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, 1997, faced critical challenges, Eastwood maintained his commitment to storytelling, continually evolving as both an actor and director. His career trajectory demonstrates resilience and a willingness to take creative risks, ensuring that each project contributes uniquely to his enduring legacy in Hollywood. In the mid-2000s, Clint Eastwood experienced a remarkable resurgence that solidified his place at the top of Hollywood's A-list. $1 Million Baby, 2004, a poignant drama starring Hilary Swank and Morgan Freeman, was a critical and commercial triumph. The film not only won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Eastwood, but also earned him his second nomination for Best Actor. This success marked a high point in Eastwood's career, reaffirming his prowess as both a director and actor. Following the success of $1 Million Baby, Eastwood continued to impress with Gran Torino in 2008, a film that resonated deeply with audiences and became his highest-grossing film, unadjusted for inflation, earning almost $30 million in its opening weekend alone. The film showcased Eastwood in a memorable role that explored themes of redemption and cultural tension, further cementing his reputation as a versatile and compelling performer.
Such a big reward being offered on all you gentlemen that I thought I might just tag along on your next robbery. Might just turn you into the law. Who said I was joking?
In 2012, Eastwood showcased his versatility once again, He starred in Trouble with the Curve, a lighthearted and touching drama about baseball and family dynamics. Simultaneously, he ventured into reality television with Mrs. Eastwood and Company, offering audiences a glimpse into his personal life and family dynamics, demonstrating his willingness to explore new avenues of storytelling and entertainment. However, it was Eastwood's 2014 film, American Sniper, that thrust him back into the spotlight and ignited significant controversy. The film, based on the life of Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, garnered widespread acclaim for his portrayal of Kyle's bravery and skill as a marksman. Yet it also sparked intense debate and division across the nation. Critics on the left criticized the film for glorifying violence and portraying the Iraq War in a manner they deemed insensitive and jingoistic. Supporters on the right hailed it as a tribute to American heroism and patriotism. The controversy surrounding American Sniper transcended the film itself, becoming a lightning rod for discussions about America's military involvement in Iraq and broader cultural divisions within the country. Despite the polarized reception, the film was a commercial success and received 6 Academy Award nominations, underscoring its impact and the complex reactions it evoked among viewers. Clint Eastwood's approach to directing stands as a stark contrast to the meticulous perfectionism of Stanley Kubrick. Where Kubrick famously demanded numerous takes to achieve his vision, often pushing actors to their limits, Eastwood takes a decidedly different path. With a career spanning 39 directorial credits, including multiple award-winning films like Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby, Eastwood has carved out a reputation for efficiency and trust in his collaborators. Unlike Kubrick's quest for aesthetic precision, Eastwood prioritizes capturing authenticity and spontaneity on screen. Once the technical aspects are set up, lights, cameras, and blocking, Eastwood prefers to let scenes unfold naturally, often aiming to capture performances in just one take. This method, inspired by his belief that real-life conversations don't come with retakes, allows him to maintain a fluid and organic feel in his films. By minimizing the number of takes, Eastwood not only respects the time and energy of his cast and crew, but also trusts their ability to deliver without excessive intervention. This hands-off approach reflects his confidence in hiring professionals who understand their roles and the nuances of filmmaking. It also streamlines the production process, enabling Eastwood to work quickly and decisively, a contrast to the prolonged shoots associated with directors.
I think I saw some familiar names on the tombstones in the cemetery.
You might have.
One was Donald Siegel.
Oh, Don Siegel, did I put him in there?
Don Siegel, and the other was S. Leone.
Is that the only one?
Paying
I was
debts.
having a little fun with those
Paying
guys.
debts.
I wasn't wishing anything on them. I think some people tried to draw the significance that I was burying my past or something like that.
Eastwood's approach to directing is markedly different from his intense personas on screen, whether as a gritty gunslinger or a tough cop. Known for his relaxed demeanor behind the camera, Eastwood emphasizes a casual, conversational atmosphere on set, a stark contrast to the meticulous and sometimes demanding methods of other directors, like Stanley Kubrick. In Eastwood's view, the essence of his directing style lies in capturing authenticity and spontaneity. He values naturalism over rehearsed perfection, preferring performances that feel organic and unforced. This approach extends to his preference for minimal takes, believing that allows actors to tap into their instincts and deliver their best work without overthinking or excessive direction. While some directors may prefer extensive rehearsals and multiple takes to refine performances, Eastwood encourages a more intuitive and immediate approach. He aims to create a relaxed mood on set, fostering an environment where actors feel comfortable exploring their characters without feeling pressured or constrained by the need for perfection. Eastwood's films reflect this laid-back directing style. Dialogues are often understated, and scenes unfold with a sense of ease rather than dramatic flair. He trusts his actors to understand their roles and bring their own interpretations to the characters, intervening only when necessary to adjust rhythm or timing. Despite his reputation for directing quieter, introspective films in recent years, Eastwood's earlier career as an actor informs his approach. His experiences playing iconic, tough guy roles have given him a nuanced understanding of performance and storytelling, which he now applies to his directing with a focus on subtlety and nuance. Clint Eastwood's directorial style is marked by a notable lack of tension and formality on set. With decades of experience behind him, he eschews unnecessary obstacles or conflicts during production, preferring a straightforward approach where everyone simply gets on with their tasks. This laid-back philosophy has contributed to his prolific output over the years, allowing him to maintain a steady pace in filmmaking. All of Eastwood's directed films share a distinctive style, characterized more by attitude than specific visual or narrative elements. They embody a naturalistic manner that sometimes bends or breaks traditional realism and genre conventions. Drawing from his love of jazz, Eastwood approaches filmmaking like a riff on a theme, whether comedic or melodramatic, often delivering it with a straight-faced demeanor that can catch audiences off guard. His subtle humor and occasional serious undertones may be missed by some viewers, as he prefers to let these elements unfold without excessive explanation or fanfare. Eastwood's approach can be seen as subversive in its refusal to conform to typical directorial expectations. He avoids overtly showing his hand, preferring a more elusive style that allows for interpretation and discovery by the audience. This approach harkens back to a traditional craftsmanship in American cinema, where directors often let the story and characters speak for themselves without heavy-handed direction. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to appreciate Clint Eastwood's contributions to cinema and wish him strength during these difficult times. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments below which Clint Eastwood movie is your all-time favorite. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.